Star vs. the Force of Evil tells a classic cartoon story while keeping the magical high schooler angle fresh with awesome characters and sweet fancy elements. And of course, references. Hi, I'm Ostrich Vox from the Roundtable with Channel Predator, and we're about to get into some of the references to classic movies, TV shows, and more throughout the latest episodes in Star's journey. Who knows, maybe this video will defeat the forces of evil for good. Gravity Falls. Disney XD, which is the network that airs Star vs. the Force of Evil, had its own cartoon success story previous to Star, with Gravity Falls. Many of the people who work on Star had previously worked on Gravity Falls, so it's only natural that there are some references that pay homage to what is in some ways Star's predecessor. In the episode Starstruck, Star and Marco visit the Echo Creek mud pits and stand alongside four tourists, who are all characters that also pop up in a few episodes of Gravity Falls as tourists. And Into the Wand, it's revealed that there is a sticker in Marco's locker for boy bands several times. Fans of Gravity Falls will of course remember several times as the 5 perfect clone people who were kept in a cage between performances. If you haven't seen Gravity Falls, I promise this makes sense. Finally, in Bon Bon the Birthday Clown, there is a flashback that opens up the episode in which the clown from the episode's title ends up in the hospital. There's a photo above his hospital bed that seems to be of the Gravity Falls mystery shack. Could these shows take place in a shared universe? While there's no official canon answer to that question, it sure seems like it. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. If you haven't seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, you've probably been told by a friend that you're missing out on one of the best movies of all time. People seriously love this movie, and for good reason. It's funny. And the Star vs. the Force of Evil creators seem to like it too, as they referenced it a couple of times in the show. The episode Raid the Cave includes a sequence that pays direct homage to a scene in the Holy Grail, in which a soldier approaching a castle is shown to be perpetually far away, before suddenly appearing at the castle's entrance. This is recreated when Star and Marco ride a Warnicorn into Ludo's lair. And in Sleepover, a magical Truth or Punishment box, which is totally a game I'm getting for my next sleepover, seems about to ask a deeply personal question to Star and friends, before simply asking, "What is your favorite color?" This bait and switch gag is straight out of Monty Python. The Bridge Keeper at the Bridge of Death asks a difficult riddle about a story's heroes in a traditional fantasy, then subverts expectations by asking the very same favorite color question. Looks like asking an easy question in tense circumstances never gets old. Sailor Moon. It's not an exaggeration to say Star vs. Forces of Evil wouldn't exist without Sailor Moon. I mean, their names both reference celestial bodies. Star? Moon? Sea? Series creator Darren Nefsey originally came up with the concept of Star as a regular human girl who really liked Sailor Moon and wanted to be a magical warrior. It was inspired by one of Nefsey's very real, very unattainable childhood dreams. The transformation sequence from Sailor Moon is first referenced in St. Olga's Reform School for Wayward Princesses, when Star uses her magical powers to create a disguise in order to help her get into the Reform School. Then, in the recent Battle for Muni movie, Star transforms into a more powerful, golden 6-armed Mubity form, which again, is in the same style of a Sailor Moon transformation. Star's staff is also part Sailor Moon, as her heroic predecessor was known to use a magical staff as a weapon. Star's father, King Butterfly, specifically has a Sailor Moon-inspired staff, featuring a moon and star headpiece, which is almost identical to Sailor Moon's moonstick with the attached Imperium Silver Crystal. Finally, Mina Loveberry, who shows up in the episode Starstruck as Star's personal hero, sports Sailor Moon's iconic hairstyle. She also wears bunny earrings, and that's a reference to Sailor Moon's human name, Usagi, which means bunny in Japanese. Unfortunately, Mina doesn't turn out to be the hero Star had thought her to be, which is either a comment on the humanity of even the most exalted celebrities, or Nefsey being disappointed that she could never actually become a Sailor Warrior. One of the two. Other anime. So, while Star's wand and powers are mostly inspired by Sailor Moon, her wand has another big source of visual inspiration, the Star Wand from Card Captor Sakura, another anime that was on American TV around the time of Sailor Moon. The wings and big golden star at the center of Sakura's wand are pretty direct style inspirations for Star's wand. In the episode Goblin Dogs, Star rides a cloud named Cloudy in a manner that's very similar to Goku and his flying Nimbus Cloud in Dragon Ball. Not only is Dragon Ball another big early 2000s anime, but it's also a notably early inspiration for Star vs. the Forces of Evil. In the same interview in which Nefsey explained her childhood passion for Sailor Moon, she revealed that Marco was going to be a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, and that they would be rival of sorts. This will surely ring true for anyone who got into countless schoolyard arguments over which anime series was better. Sailor Moon vs. Dragon Ball Z almost inspired the same passion as Pokemon vs. Digimon. Almost. Classic movies. While we're on the subject of classic anime, how about we throw some classic movies into the mix? Remember that magical Truth or Punishment box? That has its origins in another, even more sinister box from the classic horror Hellraiser. Both magical puzzle cubes glow blue, though only the box from Hellraiser summons otherworldly demons, thankfully. In the episode Matchmaker, Star makes a call through a magical mirror that's basically the Mooniverse version of Skype. To use the Skype mirror, Star chants, "Mirror, mirror on the wall," but instead of asking, "Who's the fairest of them all?" like in Disney Snow White, she asks them to make a call. It still rhymes. In St. Olga's Reform School for Wayward Princesses, there's a scene in which Marco is taken to a solitary confinement chamber and forced to watch old videos on how to be a good princess. Eyes forced open. This closely resembles a pretty brutal scene from A Clockwork Orange, where rabble-rouser Alex is forced to look at a violent image, while given fear-inducing drugs to make him adverse to the violence. Neither Marco nor Alex ends up becoming a good princess. Finally, the dance in Blood Moon Ball is inspired by Carrie, the film adaptation of Stephen King's first novel. In the film, after Carrie's drenched in blood, she turns her high school dance into what's basically a living nightmare. While the dance in Blood Moon Ball isn't nightmarish, the blood, which is actually light from the blood moon, and the red light over everything are both inspired by the movie. Real life, while Star and friends live in a fancy universe, it's not about a few analogs to things in the real universe that you and I inhabit. Visually, troll teacher Miss Skolnick is not inspired by a fancy world troll, but by real trolls. By that, I mean the troll dolls that were popular in the 90s. She resembles the toy trolls with her big frizzy hair and prominent belly button, which also happens to look a little like Steven Universe's belly button gem. In the episode Cheer Up, Marco uses a newspaper to cover up his t-shirt after someone makes fun of it. The newspaper he grabs is called Las Cebolas, which means the onions in Spanish. So presumably, that newspaper is all Spanish language satire, just like the English satire paper, The Onion. In the reference-heavy episode, St. Olga's Reform School, a street sign behind Star reveals three street names: Cahuga, Hollywood, and Setsun. All of these are bizarro versions of major boulevards in Los Angeles. Kuwanga, I hope I pronounced that right, Hollywood, and Sunset. In Collateral Damage, it's revealed the city of Echo Creek was founded by a group of settlers called the Bonner Party. This name is derivative of the real-life Donner Party, who, instead of settling a city, famously cannibalize each other. It doesn't surprise me in the least that they didn't retain the whole people eating people aspect for the TV show. Video games. Beep boop 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 beep. That was video game language for check out these references to video games and Star versus the Forces of Evil. In the episode Math Magic, Star visits this totally crazy time continuum where she's shown alternate universes of herself. One of them is just like Link from the Zelda series. There are also a few references that come up in the Star versus Forces of Evil universe that are like weird alternate reality versions of familiar games. Among these are Lance Dance Revolution in the episode Party with a Pony, which is a totally cooler crystallized version of Dance Dance Revolution, and Lederhosen Tycoon, which sounds a lot like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but instead of building roller coasters, you sell traditional German clothing, I guess? Apparently, not everything's better in fantasy worlds. There you have it. I'm Ostrich Vox from the Roundtable, and thanks for watching references in Star versus the Forces of Evil. Which is your favorite reference? Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to click the bell to become part of the notification squad. Make sure you check out our other videos and subscribe to Channel Frederator, your cartoon central on the internet.